expected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. Boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously, let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Ah! You said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction. That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House...
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses. As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already? That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
No, that's wrong! No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist!
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method? You're the only one! Nagito, you should know.
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right? There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve force show up. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
meaning the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame! However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
Did you say?
Don't make me angry! You wouldn't like me when I'm angry!
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole.
However, how frail I say!
Your decayed illusion.
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole.
However, how frail I say!
Your decayed illusion.
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole.
However, how frail I say!
Your decayed illusion.
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole.
However, how frail I say!
Your decayed illusion.
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole.
However, how frail I say!
Your decayed illusion.
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole.
However, how frail I say!
Your decayed illusion.
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole.
However, how frail I say!
Your decayed illusion.
Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to at least pray to the key which dwells in the light! Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If You don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion. At least pray to the key which dwells in the light! Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the mail, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light! Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blight...
Allow me to cut through those words! The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body. The hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
It seems this is the end. Normally we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what are you...
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And, without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Hold on! What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought. Truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument. It was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet. I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! It's Nekomaru's back! Do you really think I can get behind him so easily? Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! It's Nekomaru's back! Do you really think I can get behind him so easily?
This is the end! Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you have the power of the hamsters you keep with you!
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
Of course that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundam. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
here's everything that happened in this case. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, the final deadline. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Tai Chi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower, so he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending. And Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful, and placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob. but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe you killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that!
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the black? Please pull the trap! I bit my tongue at the most important part! Yahoo! Nice!
Now then. Jeez.
Fall, my tears. Listen well! How pitiful. Fine.
Damn it!
This, too, must be the will of causality.
You.
Let's make history.
That is...
Let me tell you this.
Huh?
I can see it!
Could it be?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
The scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
That's a good one.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I do not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might! I won't go easy on you! Don't even think about holding back! Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics! Give me everything you got!
Nekomaru need I! Your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
That is...
Let me tell you. You weakling! Fall, my tears. If you flinch, you will die! Let me ask. Fine. Listen well! I shall engulf this world. I renounce you!
You. But...
Damn it.
Fine. Fall.
Oh. You...
Let's make history.
Well...
My name is Gundam Tanaka! Fade like dust in the wind.
Yes, indeed!
Please wait! I beg of you!
Huh?
I beg of you!
How pitiful. Fine. What is it, my four dark devas of destruction? Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared four dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end, pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously! That is Gundam Tanaka! I shall stick with my evil until the very end! Open sesame pandemonium! I shall fill hell with true hell!
Let's give it everything we've
Damn it. Damn it! The worst.
Oh.
You are right. You are right.
Now then.
Hey!
It's not like that.
Hey. Right?
Damn it. It's obvious.
Monokuma appears!
Now then.
What's this? What's the matter?
Well.
Hello.
Hey.
Say what?
You don't even know? Isn't that right?
Of course!
But...
Who knows?
Hey. Well, right?
You're getting all riled up! No! Shing! Huh?
Hey.
Yep.
Right?
No! Unbelievable.
Well... You're right. Huh?
Like...
Well...
Say what?
You don't know? Hey. See? Hey.
That's...